Good morning, dear participants. We start the second day of European Sambo Championships among adults. Let me introduce the main panel of referees of the competitions. Chief Referee, Lebedev Alexei, Russia. Chief Secretary, Stavridis Christinas, Cyprus. Please, referees, take your working places in the field of play. To the first match are called athletes of weight category 65 kilograms about women. Van den Sand, Netherlands, Claude Leotida, France. To the second match are called athletes of weight category 64 kilograms among men. Gogor Theodoros, Greece, Manukyan Maxim, Armenia. To the third match are called athletes of weight category 79 kilograms. Kharkov Ivan, Bulgaria, Kavakyan Artur, Armenia.
Okay, welcome to the second day of this year's European Championship in Cyprus. We're starting off with the first round fight in the under 64 kilogram men's category. And here we have a fight between Gogua from Greece in the red uniform and Maxim Manukyan from Armenia in the blue uniform. Meanwhile, we haven't seen a lot of Gogua because he might be a really young sportsman. Manukyan could already impress in the past with some big results. For example, by winning a silver medal at the European Championship in Gijón, or 2 bronze medals at the World Championship, once in Sochi and the other one in Sofia the year before. So yeah, he's an experienced fighter, and let's see if he warmed up pretty well. Sometimes we see, even though we have some favorites, okay, here we go. It seems like with this double leg takedown and the 4 points, we see Manukyan is warmed up. I was just about to say that some of the favorites struggle in their first round fights because it seems like the head is maybe still in the hotel, and it's maybe a bit too early, but Manukyan starts off good here, is going for the lateral drop. Gripping. At the end it looked like he wanted to go for a suplex, but well defended by his Greek opponent. And another takedown here. 2 more points for Manukyan. And it seems like he got the foot of Gogua in his face there. I hope he's not seriously injured. Might be his nose or something. In any case, Manukyan managed to win this first round fight, and it's good for him that he finished this fight so quick, because in the next round he will face the Georgian Tornike Chovelidze, which already faced in the final. Well, and that's the first round as well in the men's under 64 kilogram category between Michael Raso from Italy in the red uniform and Radoslav Markov in the blue uniform for Bulgaria. Big attack here of Markov with a deep drop shoulder throw, well defended by Raso, but here he receives his first penalty for passivity. Well, the rules say that if after about a minute, maybe 40 to 60 seconds, there hasn't been any attack of one person, he should receive a passivity warning, and that was the case. Yeah, Raso didn't bring up any counting attack. That's why he received this first penalty on the scoreboard right now. Trying to go for the sacrifice throw here, Raso, but the balance of Markov was already too close to the mat, too close to the floor, so Raso wasn't able to lift his opponent up anymore with one leg. Now he's going here for the single leg takedown. Didn't work too well, well defended by Markov, and here really good drop shoulder throw of Raso, so he is getting back into the fight after this first penalty.
On the first match, the winner is blocked.
And here again the sacrifice throw as he did earlier on.
The first match are called.
Raso landed on his arms and knees, that's why that's not a point. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, so we're here at the halftime of this match. And so far there's just this little advantage for Markov because of the penalty which Raso received after 40 seconds. Attempt of a windmill here of Markov was too far away and well blocked of Michael Raso. That's why it wasn't successful. So far we cannot really tell in which direction this fight is going to go. I guess one of both fighters will come up probably with a little score at least at the end here. A single leg takedown. Will he bring him down? And the counter attack of Markov directly into the arm lock. And if he has the control, no, he doesn't. So the referee had to interrupt. But at least we have some nice action here. Yeah, we see some situations, good attacks. So far not a point. Here another deep shoulder throw attempt. And there was too much distance to his opponent. That's why, first of all, we cannot count it as a real attempt. Second of all, we cannot expect that this attempt would be awarded a point. Let's see what happens now in this last minute. Windmill attempt of Michal Hraso. Now working on the ground here. Markov hooked in his leg, now got out of it again. Thought he might go for Richa Kalena, but now he's working himself on top. But the period of working was too long, nothing happened. That's why the referee asked both fighters to come back to the center of the mat, to keep on standing. Good shoulder throw attempt. Markov almost landed there on his shoulder, which would have caused 1 point for Hraso, but he barely stretched out his elbow, so a close defense. And here another really good shoulder throw attempt by Markov, but as well here the shoulder of Hraso didn't touch the floor, that's why no point. But Markov now has this little advantage because of the penalty of Hraso on the scoreboard, and there are just 10 seconds left. Here is once again this sacrifice throw attempt. That was really close. Could have been awarded 1 point. Yeah, that was really close. And there the time is over. This one penalty was the deciding score for Markov, and he will go through to the quarterfinal where he will face Pavel Gladkich from Belarus.
Get ready to the second match. Athletes of weight category 98 kilograms.
Venga, rápido. Ahora. Sí, hacia adelante, hacia adelante. Sí, yo pongo la espalda, Cruzale la cintura derecha, la sube a esa, le pone la viga ahí, no te deja atrás. Venga, venga.
So, the next first round fight in the men's under 64 kilogram category, we have in the red uniform Andrei Klokov from Lithuania facing Gianni Locarini from France in the blue uniform. Directly going for the arm lock here, Locarini, but well defended by Klokov. We can see the French team advancing each time they compete at the continental or world championships. Each time they bring up some champions, some winners. The last surprise we had was at the World Championship in Novi Sad, where we had Anthony Sigard getting a bronze medal in the under 100 kilogram category. In the women's categories, we always have a few medals for the French team, and you can really see the good development of Sambo in France. And let's see, here, really good attempt of Klokov now. Was a sort of windmill, a sort of milnica, which she executed there, but Loccarini was able to defend right at the end. Is now going here again for the arm lock, didn't have enough contact to the upper body of Andrei Klokov. So, and there was not a lot happening, more activity from Klokov, that's why Loccarini receives his first passivity warning here, and a good shoulder throw attempt of Klokov, and well continued by Loccarini, trying to go for a inner thigh throw, but didn't bring Klokov down perfectly to get awarded a point there. And another good shoulder throw drop attempt here of Klokov, but once again we have this situation, like when the shoulder touches the floor and as well the throw is controlled enough, then the referees can award 1 point for this technique. Here right now we had Loccarini landing on his elbows, and here we might give 1 point for that, because now Loccarini landed on his shoulder. That's perfect work of Klokov, that he's supporting me here while explaining this rules. Once again, Loccarini landed here by this inner ankle hook on his shoulder. That's why there's another point for Klokov. He's now straight into the arm lock, and Loccarini had to tap out. That means Klokov wins this first round fight. I hope Loccarini is not injured. Maybe got away a bit with the shock. Good work of Klokov here, and he will go to the quarterfinal. And in the quarterfinal, he will face Dmytro Yevtushenko from Ukraine, who had a bye in the first round. That's why we haven't seen him. And that's it, first of all, for the 64 kilogram category. We will continue with the men's under 98 kilogram category, and here we have in this first round Arman Avanesyan from Armenia in the red uniform, facing Simon Garaklov from Greece in the blue uniform. So far we haven't seen a lot of any of both fighters on this international senior circuit. What we can mention is that Avanesyan managed to win a bronze medal, and here going, wow! Absolutely stunning, going for the lateral drop, kept standing and received the total victory here for this absolutely brilliant, spectacular breathtaking technique. That was a huge throw, and well, there wasn't a chance for his Greek opponent. So Avanesyan is going to the quarterfinal, and he really saved some energy here by winning this fight within seconds. So that's good if he plans to win a medal today. And he will face some more top players. He might probably need all this energy. So that was a really good way to finish off the first round, and we continue with the second first round fight. And here we have Tserkov in the red uniform for Bulgaria facing Alexandru Raman from Romania in the blue uniform. Here, good gripping of Tserkov. Had a 2-0 gripping, one arm on the arm of his opponent, the other arm on the back. That's a really good control. Some good techniques which can be executed from this position. We see that often in Sambo, especially by fighters who are really specialized in Sambo fighting. Yeah, you can see they are taking this opportunity to do the cross gripping, because from this point you can, as mentioned, hold the control over your opponent really well, but as well execute some good techniques. And here a good inside ankle hook of Raman, and he is going now, Tserkov, for a big hip row, but well, Raman blocked this technique well, and wasn't possible for Tserkov to execute this hip throw completely. But it's starting already really good here in this fight. Both fighters are not shy, are not scared to start off right at the beginning. That's what we like to see. Another attempt here of Alexandru Raman wasn't successful, but enough to give a passivity warning for Tserkov. And here the arm over the back. Tserkov has a good grip. But gripped into the shorts of his Bulgarian opponent and receives a penalty for that. Yeah, so to grab the leg is fine, but into the shorts is something different. And now he is going for a suplex. Tserkov, Raman managed to land on his elbow. That's why there wasn't any point given.
The first man, the winner is Ivanova Vanya, Bulgaria. To the first man are called athletes of weight category 80 kilograms. Aryashkova Maria, Bulgaria. Leonid Zairian, Georgia.
And the referees are going to have a look at that. So Tserkov tried to execute a big suplex, or in Russian, brasok через грудь. And Raman managed to defend this technique. I might imagine that they want to have a look if maybe Raman controlled the landing and to award a point to Raman, because he a bit landed on Tserkov, but no point was given there because, well, there wasn't too much control of Rahman, and Tserkov just brought his opponent down on his elbow. So in my eyes, the right decision to not give any point here. Here you can see again the cross single side gripping of Tserkov, which makes it difficult to get enough control for Rahman. Nevertheless, he tried to execute here an inner thigh throw. But that's what I meant, yeah. So because of this single-sided gripping, he didn't have enough control of the upper body, because actually the movement of this inner thigh throw was pretty good, but well, not enough control and not enough pace at the end. So there are just 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, and so far there is not an advantage for any of these fighters. Rahman was the one who received the last penalty, so Tserkov might be the winner at this point, but there is just enough time to go. Here the attempt of a sacrifice throw, but didn't manage to lift Tserkov up in the air, and he's working now on the arm lock, but Rahman easily escaping from this situation on the ground. So both sportsmen were sent to the corners in order to close and check up their uniform, to maintain some structure, and as well to give both athletes the same gripping opportunities during this fight. So we're into the last minute, and now one situation can decide this fight and can decide who will go. Oh wow, and there it is. Really well done, and that was exactly this situation I meant. A huge hip attack of Rahman, receiving 4 points for this throw. Threw him onto his back. It was like a sweeping hip throw, completely over-rotated and brought him perfectly down onto his shoulders. And well, now he can work on the ground. He could waste some time there. And he did well, could have wasted a few more seconds, but just 23 seconds on the clock, and he's now leading with his 4 points. So that looks comfortable in my eyes. And they're giving a second penalty for Rahman for his passive posture, stretching out his arms fully, and here the attempt of a double leg takedown. Rahman felt that coming and moved his legs backwards to escape from this gripping, to create the distance. And there just the last 5 seconds ticking away, and we have Rahman in the quarterfinal facing Avanesyan from Armenia, which we have seen earlier on.
The winner is Roman Alexandru, Romania. To the second match are called Sranafer, Hungary, Resko Viktoros, Latvia.
Yeah, really well fought by the Romanian sportsman here. Used this single opportunity he had to directly go for 4 points. We continue with another first round fight in the under 98 kilogram category, where we will see Ferenc Siranko of Hungary in the first in the red uniform, facing Viktoras Aresko from Latvia in the blue uniform. And with Aresko we have the first favorite of a gold medal today. Let's say he's not the youngest sportsman anymore, but he is in shape, and he already had the possibility to celebrate big medals in his career as a sambo sportsman. We can, for example, mention the silver medal at the European Games in Minsk 2019, and as well he won bronze medals at the World Championship in Bucharest and at the World Championship in Sochi. So he's definitely one of the favorites today here at this European Championship. So far he's trying to get into the fight. His opponent from Hungary is a bit taller than him. For some sportsmen, the size of their opponents can change their feeling, their performance, because you have to get used to just the size, the way he's moving. And here we have a good attempt of Aresko, and that's what it is. So if he would have had now here a smaller opponent, this technique might already have scored something, yeah. But you have to change this feeling you got by yourself for the throws, for the techniques you execute, because this body shape of your opponent and the movement, the strength, everything can change. And here we go, a good counter attack of Aresko, receives 1 point for that, threw him onto his stomach, and at the moment looks really comfortable in this fight. His opponent so far didn't bring up any dangerous attack. Here a really nice sacrifice throw, gets 2 more points for that. Actually looks a little bit like a warm-up for him here right now. And let's see if his Hungarian opponent can come up with something. Here we have a lateral drop, and that's now the second time that we have seen this technique here in the first round fight of the under 98 kilograms category. Both fighters smiling, shaking hands, some respect. That's what we like to see. Yeah, a full victory for Aresko, and he confirms his position as a favorite in this draw. Moves on to the quarterfinal, where he will face the French guy I mentioned earlier on, Anthony Sigard, which will maybe challenge him a bit more. Now we're going to see the next first round match between Marius Rudnikas in the red uniform for Lithuania and Ilya Khabuliani in the blue uniform for Spain. Well, Khabuliani, we can imagine he has roots in Georgia, and as we know, Georgians are good wrestlers, good fighters. We can expect maybe some spectacular fighting of Khabuliani here in this first round fight. So far, we don't know too much about both sportsmen, but, well, apparently they must have won the national championships in order to qualify for this for this European Championship here to get the ticket to Cyprus and the spot in their national team.
To the third match are called athletes of combat samba, weight category 71 kilograms.
Here the first hip throw attempt of Khabuliani, but Rudnikas was able to block that and almost countered him. Oh wow, really good single leg takedown here by Rudnikas, receives 1 point for that. Kind of shocked Khabuliani here at this point. And now Khabuliani has a really good grip on the back of Rudnikas and is going for the inside ankle hook. Could imagine he will try to do this hip throw he attempted earlier on. Rudnikas standing really deep here, which is making it more difficult for Khabuliani to come up with a big technique, because the balance of Rudnikas is, well, much closer to the mat by standing so deep. And well, in order to get a good throw, we need to get under the balance of our opponent, and obviously the deeper it is, the more difficult it gets. And here we go for the inner thigh throw, continues well and receives 1 point for that, as his opponent landed on the stomach. So the match is even again. Yeah, both fighters have 1 point, as Khabuliani scored last. He has a little advantage now. And here the attempt of an arm lock. Rudnikas well reacted and anticipated by Khabuliani. And we are here at the halftime of this contest with both fighters really battling here. Both already managed to get 1 point. Rudnikas now became a bit less active. Meanwhile, Khabuliani is trying to battle his way always on the back of his opponent and trying to get these points. Yeah, as on the gripping, I feel like a bit Rudnikas became tired. You can see his arms or his hand is not really taking a good gripping anymore. Here he tried to bring Khabuliani down in order to probably go for leg lock, but yeah, you can see there's not much energy left in the tank anymore. Another good attempt here as work bringing him down on the floor, and now he might work. Is going for the arm lock and gets the time counting now, so that might be a chance for him. As in the standing position, I guess Kabuliani has still more energy left, so maybe on the ground he can work out something, but there he lost a bit of control at the end, and let's hope he didn't waste too much energy in this ground situation, because he really has to go forward now in order to get one more action, which can be counted from the referees. Good for him to have this time here right now to close his uniform, his Sambovka. And here a good gripping for both of them, yeah, so we can expect one hip entering soon. Oh wow, that was close, that was close. And going into the hold down. Hold down with arm lock attempt at the same time. We cannot see that from this perspective right now, but there it is. So Rudnikas had to tap out during this hold down. Kabuliani was executing an arm lock and was obviously successful. So Kabuliani will go to the quarterfinal, and there he will meet another favorite of this day, which is going to be Andrei Kasusyonak from Belarus. But now we continue with probably the strongest pool of this draw in the under 98 kilograms category. Here we have in the red uniform Andrei Gusarov from Russia, and in the blue uniform David Loriashvili from Georgia. Well, Gusarov, we haven't seen him too much yet on this continental championships, because as well we have to mention in Russia it's really difficult to qualify for that. But that's definitely one quality he has. Yeah? So he became the silver medalist at this year's Russian championship in Orenburg, and now he is fighting here against the former world champion David Loriashvili. Already won the World Championship in Casablanca 2015, and as well after that he has been successful, for example, by winning the European Games in Minsk. So yeah, Loriashvili is definitely one of the favorites here in this draw as well. But well, he's facing here a Russian, and we can never underestimate a Russian here, so let's see who can come up as the winner of this contest. We are 1 minute into it, and so far it wasn't spectacular, but in any case you can see the tension between them. Yeah, there is a lot of strength, and I could imagine the first one to go into any technique. There's a lot of energy which is going to be set free. Here the single-sided cross-gripping of Loriashvili, maintaining a bit the distance to his opponent, and now trying to grip on the back, but Gusarov won't let that happen. Yeah, directly coming up straight with his upper body. And here Loriashvili at the edge of the mat. He has to be careful of not stepping out, because that will be a penalty for him right now, finding his way back into the mat. So far, no big attempt. That's why both of them receive a penalty here. So So we're 2 minutes into this contest, and we have 2 penalties on the scoreboard. So far, no big advantage for anybody. Here, a sacrifice throw attempt of Gusarov. But didn't really control his opponent from Georgia. There is the second penalty for Gusarov, which means 1 point for Loriashvili. Really difficult draw for Gusarov, we have to mention, yeah, so that's what I said earlier on. Oh wow, really good attempt here. Some sort of Mielnica or single leg takedown. Was maybe a mix, and receives 1 point for that. So 2 points for Loriashvili. And yeah, Gusarov really had some bad luck here with the draw, I would say. Came out as the silver medalist of the Russian Championship, and to do that, I guess it takes a lot of training and as well a good day, some luck. There are many factors, and then have the chance to go to the European Championship after probably many tries, and then fight against well, one of the best fighters in the first round is, well, maybe not so lucky, but let's see. In any case, to become a European champion, you have to beat everybody, and it doesn't matter if you do that in the final or in the first round. So let's see if Gusarov can come up with something right now. So far, this 2-0 looks kind of comfortable in this intense match, but a little situation can change the scoreboard, and maybe Gusarov can come back here. Loriashvili now working a bit on the ground, but not really threatening. So 1 minute left to go for Loriashvili to defend this 2 points, and for Gusarov to come up with, well, with something what the referees can count. Yeah? So either in the standing or on the ground. Loriashvili is doing that really smart here, always ducking underneath him, now working for the hold down, and really gets the hold down. Wow. First of all, that's difficult to get a hold down in sambo, because the control of this upper body is important, and especially right now against this opponent. But you can see Loriashvili is a pure power man, yeah, and you can see here there are the 4 points for Loriashvili. That was really well done, a really smart fight here at the end of this match, and well, now leading with 6 points in the last 11 seconds. If Gusarov is not coming up with any magic, that won't change anymore.
The third match, the winner is Van der Dijk Remco, Netherlands.
There is was the second penalty for Loriashvili, so 1 point for Gusarov. Didn't change anything, and that means Loriashvili goes to the quarterfinal, and now I can explain you why I said that's the hardest draw, or the hardest pool of this under 98 kilogram category, because in the quarterfinal there is waiting the next favorite of this draw. It's Yaroslav Davidchuk from Ukraine, a really young fighter, but promising, really promising.
Georgia.
And let's see what will happen. Right now we have another really interesting fight already in the quarterfinal of the men's under 64 kilogram category. We have seen Maxim Manukyan, which is now standing here in the red uniform. Already today he managed to overcome his opponent from Greece pretty quick, and he will face Tornike Chowelice, who is in the blue uniform, fighting for Georgia. An interesting fact is that both of them fought in the final of the European Championship in Gijón 2019, so it's kind of a repetition of this final fight, and the last time Chowelice came up as the winner, so he became the European champion. Meanwhile, Manukyan had to settle for the silver medal, and it's 2 years ago now, and there we can see a really good attempt here of Manukyan. Gets 1 point for that. Yeah, it was kind of lateral drop he executed there. We have seen Chowelice this year at the Harlampiev World Cup. There he lost in the first round. We could say now that was probably bad luck, or he might not be in shape, but he won the Georgian Championship this year. So that should actually confirm that he has a good shape, and let's see if he can bring Manukyan into danger. Manukyan fighting smart here. And here going as well for the lateral drop. Chowelice trying to... Oh wow! A really good counter of Manukyan, receiving 1 point for that. Brought Chowelice down onto his stomach, and that's a really interesting fight here, really spectacular. It can go into all directions, as you can see. And a double leg takedown, and wow, again, 2 more points for Manukyan. Went for the double leg takedown, threw him, well, onto his back, but what counts is the landing, and here he landed on his side, Chowelice, that's why there are just 2 points for that. And now, yeah, Manukyan wants to have 1 point for that, because Chowelice went for the hip throw, and then he stepped over to go for the lateral drop. Chowelice landed on his stomach. We can now see that as it was the natural movement of Chowelice to execute this technique, or we can say it was a counter-attack of Manukyan. The referees decided that it was the first option. That's why no point for Manukyan in this situation, but he's fighting smart, and Chowelice really seems to struggle here in this fight. So far doesn't get into it. Now goes for the lateral drop once again, and might receive a point for that, except 2 points exactly that it is. I wasn't sure if they would count it as a sacrifice throw for Manukyan, but they counted as the lateral drop for Chowelice. He had enough control at the situation, that's why there are 2 points, and he closed a bit the gap which Manukyan developed here. And this just the halftime of this match, and it's still really interesting as Chowelidze just came back. It seems like he woke up a bit, and nevertheless Manukyan is fighting smart. Well, that's what we expect of two fighters who stood next to each other on the podium at the World Championship in Sochi, where both of them won a bronze medal. Yeah, so internationally they are both well experienced, have won medals on all the international levels, European and World Championship, and as well a bit of bad luck to see them here so early in the quarterfinal. That could have been a good final, obviously, but well, that's how the draw is working. Yeah, the draw is a random selection of head-to-heads, and oh wow, that was. He really kicked against the leg of Manukyan. Was trying to execute a foot sweep here at this point. A second penalty for Manukyan, by the way, made Chowelidze get another point. So there's just 1 point left to make a difference, and Chowelidze going here really good for a hip throw and receives 2 points for that. Yeah, a really nice hip throw. I actually thought there wasn't enough control of the upper body, but he had this control, and now he's leading here suddenly in this contest. That's how Sambo's working. Yeah. Even though you're down by 4 points, you can still change the scoreboard, and now Chowelidze is here the one which has to defend this lead, but I'm sure he will keep going forward and won't rest here or won't try to only defend. He's going for another hip throw, but Manukyan managed to spin out on his head in order to avoid some points. So right now I have a bit the feeling that Manukyan is a bit out of energy. Meanwhile, Chowelidze is still hungry for some points, although he's leading here in this contest. Is always gripping deep on the back of his opponent. And here the attempt of sacrifice throw. Chowelidze now going straight into the arm lock, stretches the arm, and that's interesting to see. There he gets the submission. They are a bit well, little emotional situation now at the end, but a really good fight of Chowelidze made him tap out here at the end. Let's see.
Markov Radoslav, Bulgaria, Vladimir Pavel, Belarus.
The referee wants them to shake hands, and that's not the best sportsmanship we've seen here. Anyhow, Chowelidze, the first one, which is in the semi-final of the under 64 kilogram category. We will see whom he will face. It's either Radoslav Markov in the red uniform for Bulgaria or Pavel Gladkir in the blue uniform for Belarus. We have seen Markov earlier on, and Well, he was able to overcome his opponent from Italy. Meanwhile, Pavel Gladký had a bye in the first round. Right now here, Gladký started off well in the first few seconds, received 1 point for this inner thigh throw with cross grip. Well, although we haven't seen Gladký today, we have seen him in March already at the World Cup in Moscow, where he managed to win a bronze medal, defeated his Belarusian teammate, and I suppose that is the reason why he got the ticket for this European Championship here. Yeah, one single fight can sometimes make a difference. And well, I guess if he can get a good result at this European Championship here today, he might, wow, another inner thigh throw. They give 1 point for that, because Markov managed to defend a bit in this situation. Exactly, so there are now 2 points on the scoreboard. What I was about to say is that a good result could give a good impression, give a good reference of him for maybe this upcoming World Championship in Tashkent. Here he gets another point, maybe would have given 2 at least. In any case, Gladký is here slowly collecting his points, now leading already with 3-0 after 1.5 minutes into this contest.
To the first match are called Grigoryan Barsik, Armenia, Sishnikova Elizaveta, Russia.
And going once again for this inner thigh throw. Meanwhile, Markov tried to execute a lateral drop, but Gladký hooked into the leg of his opponent, which made it for him impossible to lift him up in the air and to execute this technique. Here a drop shoulder throw attempt of Markov, but not really dangerous for Gladký. There wasn't enough control, he didn't rotate completely in. And here once again the lateral drop attempt of Markov. Gladký so far still doesn't look like he is in danger. There we see Markov standing at a really good first round against his opponent from Italy, even though it was a really close fight as well. Gladký dropped here, seems like he injured a bit, maybe got a finger into his eye. That's happening sometimes during the gripping. Nothing serious, but he can continue. And a good counter-attack here of Gladký. They didn't count that.
On the third man, the winner is Silov Sergey.
But they're going to have a look at this situation right now. Yeah, because Markov tried to get into there for a, if I'm not mistaken, in a thigh throw. And Gladkirch rolled him over into the opposite direction, which means he took the control of his opponent, and that should be rewarded with some points. Well, in any case, the winner of this contest later on is going to face Tornike Chowelice in the semi-final. And although Chowelice didn't start really well against Manukyan, he at the end managed to overcome his opponent and win the repetition of this final of the European Championship 2019 in Gijon. So, well, I guess Chowelice came here to take a second gold medal at the European Championship. Would be really nice for him to call himself a double European champion, and obviously as well would make a really good commercial for himself to be selected for the World Championship in Tashkent in November. Yeah, definitely he's one of the favorites for this semi-final, and right now they are really still reviewing this situation, looking if they can give points for that. If they give points, I guess it should be 4 points. He rolled with control quick over the back of Markov, so we'll see what the referees are going to decide. Meanwhile, we can talk about the upcoming fight between Lithuania and Ukraine. We can here as well see a flag of Ukraine hanging in the background, so seems like the team is already prepared for this sportsman to show up on the mat later on in the next fight. Both fighters weren't showing too much on the international circuit so far, but Ukraine always has promising athletes. Same thing to win the Ukrainian championship. It takes some knowledge, takes some quality, and his Lithuanian opponent managed to beat Gianni Loccarini in the first round, and did that in style. So we have another good quarterfinal coming up later on.
The third match are called athletes in sports samba, weight category 79 kilograms men. Kharkov Ivan, Bulgaria. Forinov, France.
Well, must be a really difficult situation they are having a look on now. I guess the most difficult part of this decision right now is that they have to decide if there was enough control of Gladkirch, if he really initiated the counterattack, or if it was a kind of overrolling, on purpose by Markov, and to make the difference between these two aspects or these two perspectives will make a difference between 0 points for Gladkirch or 4 points for Gladkirch. Yeah, I guess that's why they are taking their time, having a look probably in slow motion, using the two different perspectives they have in order to make a decision. And in order to make the right decision, yeah.
The winner is Elizaveta, Russia. To the first match are called
So far in this fight, Gladkir is definitely looking like the one who has more control, who is a bit more flexible as well about the techniques, about the situations. And well, about Gladkir, I earlier on mentioned that he won a bronze medal at the World Cup in Moscow this year, where he beat his teammate for the bronze medal. That was a really interesting fight, as well as this fight against his teammate was a repetition of the national championship final they had, and there he lost out against him. Yeah, so right now we'll see the decision of the sportsman. 2 points for Gladkir for this counter-attack. Now leading comfortably here in this quarterfinal with almost 2 minutes left to go. Markov now trying to come back. He has to do something, otherwise Gladkir will have an easy play here to save this 5 points till the end of the time, and get himself the ticket for the semi-final. A good attempt here, but well defended by Markov. Markov, I suppose, trying to go for the Bolevoi Kanareyka for leg lock, the painful leg lock. But Gladkir obviously knows these techniques and has strategies how to defend that. Trying to go here for a leg grab, yeah, trying to take a single leg takedown. Didn't work out properly, but just 1 minute and 60 seconds left to go, and it doesn't look like Markov has some good idea of how to overcome his opponent here, or how to steal some points from him. Although this one was a really nice attempt there. Looked like some sort of windmill with both arms, like a kind of mielnica. But at the end he lost the grip, he lost the control of the upper body, and that's why. It wasn't a big problem, a big danger for Gladkir. Here it was again, yeah, this double arm, and wow, that was a good one. Dropped shoulder throw attempt here with both arms. I guess if he would have come up once again, yeah, to spin over the head of Gladkir, he could have gone for a point. Right now Gladkir is doing that smart, working on the arm of Markov. The arm lock time is running down, just 10 seconds left to go, and there won't happen anything anymore. That means Pavel Gladkir will be in the semi-final in order to face Kornike Chobelidze from Georgia.
To the second match are called.
Markov now can hope that Gladkir will overcome Chobelidze, because then he will have the chance to fight for a bronze medal. We'll see later on how it goes. Right now we have in the red uniform Andrei Krokov for Lithuania, and in the blue uniform Dmytro Yevtashenko from Ukraine. Shake hands at the beginning of the contest. Demonstration of fair play. Now Klokov suddenly getting into this sacrifice throw and lifted his opponent from Ukraine up into the air, really short. I thought maybe he can bring him down onto his back, but Yevtushenko landed well controlled and is now stepping out of the mat here with one leg. One more push of Klokov could have given him a penalty. And here once again the sacrifice throw attempt, but doesn't know what to do then at the end, what to do in this position. I guess sometimes he's trying to go for the arm lock then as a kind of reaction of this failed attempt. Right now receives a penalty here for grabbing the fingers of his opponent. We have enough material of the Sambovka to grip. There's no need to grip or to grab the fingers. That's why it's not allowed in Sambo, and he received the penalty for that. That means a little advantage here for Yevtushenko. After 1.5 minutes into this contest, he is hooking now in with his leg, trying to go for an inner thigh throw, but there wasn't enough contact in order to lift his opponent up in the air. Well, 2 minutes of this fight are over. So far no big scores, no technical scores on the board, only a tactical one, one penalty for Klokov on the board. And here he hooks in once again, but they get out of the contest area. And both again at the edge of the mat. And Klokov went there for a single leg takedown. Not a big deal for Yevtushenko to defend that. Well, Klokov always dropping for this sacrifice throw, which makes it impossible for Yevtushenko to come up with a big technique. And that can be a tactical play, obviously, to just look active the whole time, work on your opponent so your opponent cannot work correctly on you. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Let's see if he can continue like this till the end, and if the referees will see it as activity, because in this case Yevtushenko might receive a passivity warning soon, and then Klokov would have the little advantage here. And now a little sacrifice throw attempt by Yevtushenko himself. 1 minute and 16 seconds left on the clock. And still the fight is open. Both fighters can, or still have the chance at least, to get some points and to decide the fight for themselves. And here a good Mielnica attempt of Klokov, which brought Yevtushenko down, but just onto his arms and knees. That means no point for him. But maybe he can really provocate one more penalty for Yevtushenko, and then he would be in a better position again. We'll see if he can or not. Right now Yevtushenko has a good control and made a good attack, which means the passivity warning is not really probable right now for Yevtushenko. Both sportsmen were sent into the corner for Klokov to close his Sambovka, and now he has just 20 seconds left to go to come up with something. Inner thigh throw attempt, and here is finally a technical score, 2 points for Yevtushenko. Really nice combination of inner thigh throw with a single leg takedown, and well, there's just 1 second left on the clock, and it seems like Yevtushenko is the winner of this contest, moves on to the semi-final, and we will see now in the next fight who will be his opponent for this match.
Second match are called Shepatar Alexander, Russia, Daconescu Daniel, Romania. On the third match,
and yeah, now we have the Russian of this draw. In each weight category, we definitely always see at least one, what means at least one Russian. There can only be one nationality, or one of each nationality per weight category, but he is the one who was sent for Russia to represent Russia in this weight category. And well, the reason is easy. He became the silver medalist at this year's Russian Championship in Orenburg. And well, in the red uniform now, Alexandra Chebatar for Russia, and in the blue uniform, Daniel Diaconescu for Romania. Except the fact that he's Russian, he already became the world junior champion 2016, Alexandre Chebatar. That's why he is, at least in this match, the favorite, because internationally he already managed to win some good medals, as well as some A tournaments like Kazan, Kaliningrad. He already showed or proved himself a really good fighter and successful training at Sambo 70 in Moscow, one of the most prestigious clubs, Sambo clubs in the world. There he definitely has enough partners to train with, and had the chance to really good prepare himself for this European Championship in order to add his collection a gold medal at the European Championship as well. Wow, a huge drop, shoulder throw, and plants his opponent from Romania straight onto his back. That's why he receives 4 points for that. really good what he did there, because he was fighting right-sided the whole time, and then suddenly ducked underneath his opponent on the left side. Yeah, so that was unexpected, and the reward were 4 points for him and a comfortable lead in this quarterfinal. Now going for the leg lock. Here you always have to be careful. Obviously the Russians know this leg locks, training them every day. Now in the perfect position, his opponent with the upper body down. Chebotar now trying to get the pressure onto this ankle of Diaconescu. So far Diaconescu still doesn't look like he would be in danger, so that's why the referee interrupted the situation. Chebotar wasn't successful with this leg lock. Halftime in this contest, and Chebotar leading with 4 points because of this beautiful drop shoulder throw he executed there. And he definitely looks prepared, he looks focused, going for some sort of Mielnica reverse, so went in for the lateral drop gripping and then turned on reverse. They are going to have a look at that right now. I could imagine that they would give 2 points for this technique of Chebotar, because Diaconescu landed on his side, but the referees will see now what to give there. And they decided to not give any point, probably because there wasn't enough control of Chebotar, because at the end Diaconescu kind of initiated a counterattack for this attempt of Chebotar, and I guess here they rather said, well, if it's not clear, we better don't give any point. And here another situation which is tricky. Chebotar going for some sort of Mielnica, and again Diaconescu countered that, and as well here it was too difficult to decide who initiated and who controlled the whole movement. That's why the referees didn't give any point. In any case, Diaconescu now has to become more active, otherwise it will be an easy game here for Chebotar. Right now Diaconescu went for the Richak Kalena, so a kind of feint for an inner thigh throw, but actually going for the leg lock. And now Chebotar is working here on the arm, trying to get the submission. Has a really good contact, and in any case, even though he might not be successful, he wasted some important seconds there, which are good for him, because right now Diaconescu was trying to lock the ankle or the leg of Chebotar, but Chebotar was defending smart, and the seconds were ticking away. Now going for some Strigonok at the end, but no point anymore. That means the win for Chibatar. He is going to the semi-final, where he will face Dmytro Yevtushenko, which we have seen early on from Ukraine. And now we continue with the men's under 98 kilogram category, where we have Arman Avanesyan in the red uniform for Armenia and Alexandru Raman in the blue uniform for Romania. We have seen a huge throw of Avanesyan in the first round. Took him only 20 seconds to overcome his opponent from Greece. Lifted him up so far into the air with a lateral drop, smashed him onto his back and got the total victory of 8 points. So that was a beautiful executed technique, and now I'm looking forward to see more of him. He didn't even give me the time to talk about his previous results. I was about to say that he's still a young sportsman, as he won a bronze medal at the European Junior Championship in Cyprus 2019. So 2 years ago he was still in the juniors category. Now here trying to make the transition to the seniors. Going for a hip throw combination with an inside ankle hook, trying to block the hip throw attempt here of Raman successfully. Looked pretty close actually. The situation could have been into both directions. Yeah, so either the hip throw for Raman or maybe a suplex or a kind of counter attack of Avanesyan. And now Avanesyan has a good grip here in the neck of Raman. Raman is with his arm trying to remain a bit the distance to him, because I guess he already noticed that the hip of Avanesyan might be dangerous. And here back leg body drop of Avanesyan. Got 1 point for that. Yeah. And is leading here after 1.5 minutes in this quarterfinal. And here once again, so he's doing that really good. Yeah, always going for the hip throw and then trying to combine that with inside ankle hook.
On the first match, the winner is Grivinoshka Yulia, Ukraine. To the first match are called athletes of weight category 80 kilograms, Ayashkova Maria, Bulgaria, Shutkarina, Belarus.
And well, Avanesyan is really good controlling the upper part of Raman. Just failed a bit with this hip throw attempt, but here gripping now on the belt of Raman, which is a really good position for him to execute a technique in any direction. I could go front and here. That's what I thought actually, what he just shortly attempted. To go for a sort of suplex in combination with a bear hug. Well, good for Avanesyan that Raman is not attacking, but here right now he got 1 point for this big hip throw, and now the fight is even again. Yeah, so we've seen Avanesyan trying to go for this suplex bear hug, but Raman kind of counterattacked that by stepping just in front and pulling in his hip. Now working here on the arm didn't really get the control of it. And we can see both sportsmen are getting a bit tired right now here. And here again, the inside ankle hook and a nice, really nice inner thigh throw for 2 points here of Avanesyan. Well controlled till the end. Yeah, once again the combination stepped in for the hip throw, then in the combination with the inside ankle hook, and then the leg is already inside in order to go for the inner thigh throw. And now it looks like Rahman is really injured here. Looks like he has some pain, and the referee is suggesting to finish the fight because Rahman looks injured, but he can continue. Yeah, that's why well, we continue the fight, and now he has to become active again because Avanesyan is leading with 2 points. Here a good attempt, one more attempt of Avanesyan, receives as well 1 more point for that. Really explosive, with the whole hip rotated inside and brought Rahman down onto his shoulder. And now again he has a good gripping. A bit difficult for Avanesyan to execute this hip throw he wants to, because Rahman is always here at the hip, blocking with his arm. Right now going for an inner thigh throw himself, but well defended by Avanesyan. Going now for the hold down, has a good control of the upper body. Almost impossible for Rahman to get out of this position. And yeah, you can see there's not much energy left anymore. Rahman tapped out. That's why the fight finished. And we see Avanesyan in the semi-final of the under 98 kilogram category, and there he will in any case have a good opponent, and we're going to figure out who it's going to be. The favorite of this fight is definitely Viktoras Rezko in the red uniform here for Latvia, a sportsman who is competing on this circuit already for more than 10 years, and each year he has a big success to show. To just talk about the last 3 active years, he won a bronze medal at the World Championship in Sochi 2017, and the year after that another bronze medal at the World Championship in Bucharest, and then in 2019 he managed to get a silver medal at the European Games. But his opponent, Anthony Seagard, won a bronze medal at last year's World Championship in Novi Sad in Serbia. So recently means like he is probably in good shape, but there we can see a suplex attempt of Rezko, and as well directly going onto the leg of his opponent. You can see Rezko is not wasting any time here, 20 seconds into the fight, and starting off with the first point. That's what it's going to make the difference. You can be good in the standing part, but if you don't have any clue about the ground part, then it can be really dangerous for you. And escaping from the ground all the time might be possible, but with a fighter who's really good on the ground, one time you make a mistake, the fight is all over. And Resko is really going for it here today. I guess he sees his chance to go through to the final. In the semi-final he would have to face Avanesyan, which we just see, which definitely is a good fighter, but as well young, so there Resko would have the advantage of experience, and same happens here right now. Sigard is a young player, just got his very first medal on the World Championship level, and Resko already did that a few times. So the experience is counting here for Resko, and it seems like he's still in a good shape. Good attempts of Resko here. Resko already 32 years old, but definitely he doesn't look like this. Yeah, so he is really in a good shape, and wow, huge inner thigh throw attempt, but Resko managed to get out of that. I really saw him already falling for this one, but no, he didn't. The last time Resko participated at the European Championships was in Gijón 2019, and there he managed to come to the final as well. Let's see if he can repeat that this year here in Cyprus. Sigard is right now always coming up with some really good hip attempts, but Resko always manages to take a step aside and well, go in front by himself, like to switch the hip and take off the danger from this situation. That's why the attempts of Sigard so far weren't successful, and with this 2 points now leading here, that was a poor attempt of Resko, and that was really close, yeah, because if Sigard would have had continued with a bit more power, he could have received a point or more points for that. Right now the referees are going to have a look at this situation, because I have seen one of the referee assistants showing 1 point for that, and they will have a look on the video screen if they can give a point for this action. Would be interesting, because Resko would then feel a bit more pressure, I suppose, and on the other hand Sigard would be more motivated, because the gap is smaller again, and maybe just one single attack could make him come out of this fight as the winner. Now we will see what they are going to decide. Is there a point or not? No point. Okay, so there are just 2 minutes left on the clock, and here is what I meant. Resko always steps in front and pushes in his hip, brings his opponent down, never has the arm, and that's the problem. If he would have the arm, the pulling sleeve, in order to control the fall of Sigard, he could get many points by doing that, although he would only collect like 1 point techniques here, but each point is valuable and important. And here he can go for the suplex now. He does. Well done, well executed, 1 point. Sigard landed on his hip. That's why he receives only 1 point for that. But really well executed, lifted him up into the air so Sigard couldn't defend himself with the leg anymore in order to stop the fall. And well, a really good execution of this suplex, and once again stepping in front, Sigard landing on his shoulder. 1 more point for Hresko. That's what I meant, yeah. So he can collect this 1 point techniques and the one point awards, and it might not be a lot if we have a look at every single of them, but in addition, he's now leading comfortably with 4 points, yeah. So that's really difficult for Sigard to change, especially as Hresko is really experienced. So big mistakes are not to expected. And here, once again, the game which we already see the whole time. Yeah, Sigard steps in with the hip technique, but Hresko anticipates that perfectly and steps in front by himself. So there's no chance for Sigard to pull off this technique. And now he tried that on a different side, really good. Yeah, right now at the end he needs really to try everything, and to change the side is, well, definitely a good idea. Might be better for him, but right now I can see as well the power or the energy of Hresko, but as well of Sigard is obviously going away. Both are becoming really tired. Even closing the Zambovka is now quite a deal. 30 seconds left to go. Small attempts of Hresko. Just 20 seconds left to go. So each time now he attacks and wastes a few seconds. That's better for him because he still doesn't have any penalties, and he can really fight in a defensive posture right now without fearing any points by penalties for his opponent. And the time is over. Hresko it is, who is going to the semi-final, and there he will face Arman Avanesyan for Armenia. Well, Sigard now can hope that Hresko will make it to the final, so he will have the chance to continue in the repechage and later on to fight for the bronze medal. Right now we are going to see an interesting fight between Ilia Khabuliani of Spain facing another favorite of this tournament here, Andrei Kasusyonak from Belarus in the blue uniform. Well, Khabuliani won his first round against his opponent from Lithuania, but as mentioned, Kasusyonak is definitely one of the favorites here in this tournament. He had some impressive results already in his past. Recently won the World Championship in Serbia in December of the last year. Probably one of his biggest results was winning the Absolute Sambo Cup in Sochi 2018. This cup might not be known to everybody, so I'm going to explain that it's like an open tournament where there is only an open weight category, so everybody who feels strong enough can compete there, but as well it's not only about people who would like to compete. People were nominated for this tournament, yeah, so he was one of them who was nominated, and he overcame all his opponents at this tournament, even the ones which fight in the over 98 kilogram category, and yeah, he took impressively the gold medal there. So he's definitely a really good fighter, and you can see here how easily he's collecting the points. Already 4 points on the scoreboard for him, and just 1 minute into the contest, a bit over 1 minute. And I guess definitely he came here to prove himself once again. One of the best fighters. Here goes for a really nice windmill, and manages to get another 2 points for that. Right now Khabuliani is going for a leg lock attempt here. I would be surprised if Kasasionak taps out. Yeah, but he didn't, so 6 points onto his account, 1.5 minutes into the contest, and that's what I really like to see, how he's running back to the place like, I'm ready, come on, let's go. And there he goes once again, 1 more point. So there are now 7 points on the account. That's just a question of time when there will be the next point. There it is. 1 more point, which means 8-0 for Kasasionak. And a really easy win for him against a good opponent. Yeah, so Khabuliani with Georgian roots.
On the second match, Kasasionak Andrei, Belarus.
Really well done of Kasasionak. Goes to the semi-final of the under 98 kilogram category, and now we go back to the heaviest pool of this category, where we have David Loriashvili in the red uniform of Georgia facing Yaroslav Davidchuk in the blue uniform of Ukraine. Both fighters experienced, although I have to say Davidchuk is still a pretty young fighter, and I guess this weight category is as well new for him. Let's see if he can keep up with the physics of his opponent. Loriashvili, definitely one of the favorites here, almost each year standing on the podium of the World Championship or the European Championship, yeah, any tournament. And Yaroslav Davidchuk, pretty young, but as well an expert on the ground. That's what we really have to say. He's an expert on the ground, and there got the submission, and that's exactly what I just said. He is an expert on the ground. I remember him winning as well against a teammate of Loriashvili, Gviniashvili, at the tournament, at the A tournament in Minsk. And that was a really good situation. Davidchuk, trained by one of the Sambo legends, Vasilchuk, which we know from his YouTube channel. And well, we knew as well Vasilchuk was one of the ground experts, and he is giving all his knowledge to Davidchuk now. So Davidchuk is going to the semi-final where he will face Andrei Kasusionak, and Kasusionak himself is a kind of expert on the ground, so we'll see where they will fight, either on the ground or in standing, or well, I'm excited to see this fight between them. But first of all, now we come to the first semi-final in the men's under 64 kilogram category. Here we have in the red uniform for Georgia, Tornike Chowelidze, and in the blue uniform for Belarus, Pavel Gladkir.
On the first match, the winner is Schlesinger Alice, Israel. To the first match are called Riaika, Russia, Repinoshka Yulia, Ukraine.
First penalty for Gladkir here after 20 seconds. And a really good attempt there of Gladkir, but as well Chowelidze continues. Unsuccessful. Chowelidze is definitely the favorite in this semi-final. Won the European Championship in Gijón 2019. Took a bronze medal at the World Championship in Sochi, and overcame in the quarterfinal one of the favorites here, of the other favorites, Manukyan from Armenia. And well, really good hip throw attempt, almost smashing the TV there and the whole table. Couldn't really see how he brought him down, if the referees could award that a point or not.
On the first match,
the tag started inside of the contest area. You can see nice fair play of both fighters, initiated by Chowelidze for throwing his opponent into the chair, or into the table. Yeah, no point for this situation, although it was really spectacular. A good attempt of Gladkir here. And now Chowelidze working on the ground, going for a hold down, but didn't really manage to pull him over.
В противном случае штраф 300 евро.
Wow. Huge attempt here of Gladkir. Looked really spectacular. And then continued with a double leg takedown, brought Chowelidze down, but I guess the referee saw this one more as ground work. That's why they didn't give any point for that. Right now here he was going for Milnica, well anticipated by Chowelidze, who blocked this one out. And here another good hip attempt of Chowelidze, but lost out the sleeve of Gladkir, so wasn't able to control his fall.
On the first match, we start fights for bronze medal.
And here a really good inner thigh throw attempt of Gladkir. Well defended by Chowelidze, spinned out really good, and now trying to pick him up. I already wanted to say, really thought he would pick him up all the way to execute a lateral drop. And another inner thigh throw attempt of Gladkir. And if Chowelidze is not careful enough, Gladkir will score with that technique. Oh wow. That's what I meant earlier on. Yeah, Chowelidze picked up Gladkir completely and brought him down onto his shoulder, but the referees didn't really see this one as a counting situation, as the fight was already on the ground. I guess here you would have to pull him up or lift him up, a bit more obvious.
In 5 minutes, we'll start fights for bronze medals in weight category 65 kilograms among women. Please get ready. Bodena Natalia, Moldova.
So there's just 1 minute left on the clock, and the fight is still open. There's only one penalty for Gladkir on the scoreboard, and if Chowelidze is now not committing any big mistake, he will be able to use this little advantage for himself. In any case, we would like to still see a technical score in this combat, in this semi-final, because we know that both of them are good for big techniques, especially Chowelidze. And there it is, there it is, there it is. There it is, that's 1 point. That's 1 point for Gladkir. And that's exactly what I mentioned earlier on. If he won't be careful with this inner thigh throw, he will have a problem later on, and now it seems like he has it. So there's this 1 point for Gladkir in the last 45 seconds, and that's really really tricky for him right now, because such a late lead for Gladkir makes it really difficult for Chowelidze to come back if he's not more active right now. And he has to go some risk, yeah, because he wants to get into the final of this European Championship. And either way, he gives now 110%, or he will have to settle for a bronze medal. And Gladkir only dropping, so there is one penalty for Gladkir, which means 1 point for Chowelidze, but the technical point of Gladkir is counting more here. So Chowelidze really needs one technical point or one more penalty for Gladkir. And wow, that's so exciting here to see right now. The last 7 seconds, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So either way, Chowelidze really has to go full risk, which means he could fall for another point, or he will accept the fact that he made the mistake at the very end of the fight. So, well, Chowelidze is now angry, obviously, but he should be angry on himself because he took the risk there at the end, and yeah, that was his mistake. He's now protesting there, taking off his Sambovka. I'm sure that he's angry about his loss, but definitely it was his own mistake. Because he so that the point was correct. He fell onto his shoulder, and as mentioned earlier on, this inner thigh throw of Gladkirch has been dangerous the whole time, and then he took the risk. Unfortunately, at the very end of the fight, and then it's always really difficult to come back. Yeah. So Gladkirch made it to the final. Congratulations. Unexpected. And Chowelidze has to fight for the bronze medal. That's how it is. And we continue with the second semi-final on the under 64 kilogram category. And here we have in the red uniform for Ukraine Dmytro Yevtushenko, and the blue uniform for Russia Alexander Chibatar. None of them won any medal yet on the Continental Senior Championships, so for either one of them it's going to be the very first one, and we're soon going to figure out who will be the lucky one who will have one medal saved. The other one has to fight for a bronze medal later on, so still has the chance to make this dream come true and win their first senior medal on this continental championship level. So far we've seen now two good attacks of Yevtushenko, although Chibatar was able to defend that really good. Oh wow, really nice technique, and that's 1 point. Brought him down onto his hip. But they didn't give a point for that, so that's surprising me right now. Because the control was there during the whole time. A really nice single leg takedown of Yevtushenko, and well, I suppose the referees counted this movement already as stopped, as Chibatar defended himself with one arm. And what a big attack! What a big attack! So that should be 4 points for this wonderful inner thigh throw, because he kept on standing, and now he can go once again. 2 more points for Yevtushenko, or 1 more point for Yevtushenko for this sacrifice throw, and he's really starting off great here right now. So I guess he kind of shocked Chibatar at this point of the fight, and leading now with 5 points. It looks like Chibatar kind of injured himself in the low back there a bit, and he takes his time to take a deep breath and shake hands of Yevtushenko. Really nice, but the inner thigh throw was brilliant, really well executed, and he goes in there again because he knows, this one is a good chance for me. I've done it once, I can do it twice. And that was really unexpected for me to see Yevtushenko going or starting off so great into this contest, and now they're almost 2 minutes gone, and Chibataar so far didn't find any strategy to get close to Yevtushenko and to score any point. Here both at the edge of the mat, nothing dangerous happened, and a really good drop shoulder throw attempt here of Chibataar, but really well anticipated of Yevtushenko. That's why he directly brought down his hip to the mat to bring down the balance. As I explained earlier on, we need the so here they give 4 points for that. Oh no, they give a full. Difficult. Okay, so let me explain this situation. Yevtushenko went in for this inner thigh throw once again, which he did successfully early on, but Chibataar countered that technique and kept standing. So Yevtushenko landed on his back, and usually when you throw your opponent on your back and keep standing, that should be a total victory. That was probably a little mistake of Yevtushenko. They're full for this throw once again because he was leading comfortably. He could play tactically till the end of the fight, I suppose, as there are just 2.5 minutes left. Well, now we're going to see what the referees are reviewing there. If they would give the total victory, I could understand that. But on the other hand, I've often seen this kind of counter-attack and they didn't give any points, so I guess fair it would be to give 4 points here. Yeah, there it is. So the 4 points for Chibataar, and suddenly the gap is really close. Yeah, there's only 1 point between them, and Chibataar is back in the contest. And here's once again this inner thigh throw. But Chibataar won't fall for that anymore, and I think Yevtushenko won't let himself be countered once again. So the strategies are probably going to change now. So that's the type of semi-final we like to see here. Yeah, so already 9 points in this contest, and we still have 2 minutes on the clock, so we can really expect something more to happen, as Chibataar here representing Russia obviously came here to show that he just to show that he can be, or that he's the good choice for Russia, that he can take the gold medal home for his home country. And that's why I suppose this last 1.5 minutes he will give 100% to overcome this little 1 point difference which is still left on the clock. Yevtushenko now with 2 really poor attempts here, so he has to be careful to not be penalized for this kind of fighting. Oh, that's what we have seen early on already. A huge drop shoulder throw of Chibataar, and now having as well the hold down. This hold down won't make it a total victory, but will definitely bring him 7 points in advance, and that will be really difficult for Yevtushenko to change now in this last 40 seconds which will be remaining. So now There are the 4 more points for Cibatar. And we can see now Cibatar has a lead of 7 points and is working here smart on the ground. Obviously wasting some seconds there, as well as the referee now is showing that Cibatar is working on the arm lock. So he will get his time to work on this arm, and yeah, these seconds are so important for him. Made it to the final of the European Championship. Although Yevtushenko started so well, but that's how it happens in sambo. The fight takes 5 minutes, and in this 5 minutes everything can happen till the very end. Not the first 1.5 minutes are deciding, but the full 5 minutes. And we are going to see the first semi-final of the under 98 kilogram category, where we have in the red uniform for Armenia, Arman Avanesyan, and in the blue uniform for Latvia, Viktors Resko. Resko here, the favorite for the spot in the final. Avanesyan showed some really good fights in the first 2 rounds, especially to mention is definitely his first round fight, where he took only 20 seconds to overcome his opponent from Greece with a huge lateral drop for a total victory. But as well, Resko had the same kind of win in his first round, as well a lateral drop, as well the total victory. So that's really nice. Let's see if one of them can execute that in this fight. But yeah, definitely Viktors Resko is here the favorite, with already bronze medals at World Championships in Bucharest and Sochi, and as well early on he has already a lot of experience in the seniors category. His opponent from Armenia managed to win a bronze medal at the European Junior Championship in Cyprus 2 years ago. So for him, the seniors category is new. He still has to collect some more experience on this level, and that's why, well, in my opinion, Resko is the favorite in this semi-final. And yeah, we'll see. Here a good attempt of Avanesyan. Resko now trying to work on the ground, didn't really get the arm of Avanesyan. There is the first penalty for the Armenian fighter, and as well the first little advantage for Resko. Yeah, a good attack of Resko here, but was easy to defend for Avanesyan. 1.5 minutes into the contest, and so far not too spectacular situations as we had in the last semi-final between Cibatar and Yevtushenko. Here is 1 point for Resko, so as we have seen that in his previous fights, he is always collecting small scores, but as well small scores are really important as they can make a difference. At the end, you collect 4 small scores and it's value like a huge big throw. So And the other fact is Aresko always stays active. Yeah. So he won't have to fear any penalties, any passivity warnings. And right now Avanesian has a really good grip on the belt of Resko. Tries to go for the sacrifice throw, but now Resko is working on the ground, trying to go for the hold down, and here he has it. Yeah, so he has the upper body control. Avanesian is trying to get out of the mat. As soon as Resko leaves the mat, or this yellow circle, with his feet, the referee would stop the situation, but right now Resko managed to control him and gets 4 points for that. So with just 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, 5 points lead is really good, but we have seen that as well early on in the semi-final of the under 64 kilogram category. A 5 points lead doesn't mean anything, can be changed in seconds. So Resko shouldn't feel too safe right now, but I guess he knows about that already. I wouldn't tell him any new wisdom, telling him that he has to keep fighting and be careful here once again. 1 point for Resko, now working on the ground, is still in the mat. Going for the leg lock, overstretching, and there Avanesian tapped out. So Resko once again makes it to the final of the European Championship. You can see clearly he is happy about that, helping his opponent to stand up.
The second match, the winner is Resko Viktors, Latvia. To the second match,
yeah, so
country, Belarus,
he is happy about this
Ukraine.
ticket to the final, and the last time he competed at the European Championship 2 years ago, he made it to the final as well. So maybe today he's not only satisfied with the final, but he probably will settle for the gold medal even, in order to make up his loss of the last final. In any case, his opponent is going to be strong, because we have here two really top players which are going to battle for the place in the final. And here we can see him already with a determined view, focused in the blue uniform for Ukraine. Yaroslav Davichuk overcame in his quarterfinal one of the favorites from Georgia, Daviti Loriashvili, with a superb groundwork, getting the submission of this ankle leg lock. And Kasusyonak as well, so far only had one fight, but collected 8 points with small techniques within 1.5 minutes, and now he arrived finally. Andrei Kasusyonak for Belarus in the red uniform, and that's going to be a really interesting semi-final. So Yaroslav Davichuk, the young player 2 years ago, was still in the juniors section, won there the World Championship and the European Championship. Already got a bronze medal at the European Championship in Gijón 2019, but his opponent is a real cracker. Andrei Kasusyonak recently won the World Championship in Novi Sad, won the Sambo Absolute Cup in Sochi 2018, which is a tournament with an open weight category, so everybody can participate. and you can see them here battling tough. Davidchuk as expert on the ground thanks to the training of Ivan Vasilchuk as well from Ukraine. But as well Kasusyonak has a good knowledge on the ground, so will be difficult for Davidchuk to execute his favorite techniques, because obviously Kasusyonak has some defense strategies for probably each of them. Anyhow, let's see, maybe the fight because of that is going to be decided in the standing position. Here Davidchuk manages to remain the distance between him and Kasusyonak. That's why the referee didn't count it as a hold down. Would have been surprising for me to see Davidchuk losing on the ground. And yeah, for him it's the first time here on this international level to compete in this weight category. Previously he was fighting in the under 90 kilograms category, and yeah, now 8 kilos more heavy, going for a really spectacular sacrifice throw, and now here working on the leg such as he did with Loriashvili, and he made Loriashvili tap out. He is in a really good position right now, but Kasusyonak as well, I really cannot imagining him to tap out, but as well he's a human, so yeah. Kasusyonak really well defended this attempt of Davidchuk. Receives a penalty there, but as well a really good entrance of Davidchuk, how he got into this technique. Really well done, worked onto that ankle lock, and there's the first penalty for Kasusyonak, so the first little advantage for Davidchuk, but I'm really sure that we're going to see some points in this competition, as Kasusyonak is always good for some nice throws, and this little penalty probably won't mean anything. Here we go, there it is. That could be 4 points for Kasusyonak, and if not, he will have the hold down soon. And now probably working on the arm for the arm lock. Yeah, is really in a good position right now, Kasusyonak. And you can see Davidchuk is feeling the danger, but can here now pull out his arm a bit and gets out of this dangerous situation. Wanted to work on the leg there. Wow, so to be honest, right now we have seen one situation where I might have considered it a point for Kasusyonak early on in the standing, but the referees don't look like they want to have a look at that. Yeah, so still 0-0, and the little advantage for Davidchuk in this semi-final. It's really interesting. So two experts battling each other here for the place in the final and the chance to win a gold medal and to become the European champion of this year. I'm a fan, definitely, of both of them. So what I can just expect is that Kasus Jonak will definitely pull off some of his really good throwing techniques, although this attempt was pretty poor right now. But he has still 50 seconds left to go, and he's always good for some points. And Davidchuk, a young player here, still has to collect some experience, but is doing that so far pretty well against this experienced opponent from Belarus. Now Kasus Jonak had the chance to take a deep breath to recover some energy for this last 40 seconds in this contest, and now he really has to go forward. That was now a poor attempt of Davidchuk. But the penalty is not coming immediately, so he still got a chance, and there they could give a point. That was a mistake of Davidchuk to fall down there, but the referees didn't see any reason to give a point there for this situation. Probably not enough control, probably considered it more as a sacrifice throw of Davidchuk. And unfortunately another poor attempt of Kasus Jonak. 11 seconds on the clock, and that's really difficult now for him to come up with something counting. Seconds are ticking away, and so you can see the tank of Kasus Jonak was empty, and Davidchuk it is who makes it into the final of this year's European Championship. And I can imagine it's a disappointment for Kasus Jonak, as he just half a year ago became the world champion. But I'm sure for the bronze medal he will start off even more motivated. And we'll see. We come to the first bronze medal in the under 64 kilogram category, and there we are going to see Radoslav Markov facing Tornike Chowelice of Georgia. Markov in the red uniform and Chowelice in the blue uniform. As well, Chowelice is probably a bit disappointed today, as he lost out in the semi-final. At the very end, he fell for 1 point against Pavel Gladkirch, who is now in the final. And we had a little emotional situation at the end of this fight, but I guess he had some time to take a deep breath and get some motivation for a bronze medal. And wow, Markov is starting off really good here, shocking the Georgian with a huge drop shoulder throw, and taking the lead here in this bronze medal contest. Threw him really well. I wouldn't have considered it 4 points, to be honest, but in any case, it is like this. On the scoreboard, 4 points. Chowelice has to work with that from now on, and Markov probably surprised as well by this sudden lead here in the very first minute. They are going to have a look at that again. So Chοβelice landed in a kind of bridge, yeah. So he made a bridge with his head and his legs. I'm not sure if we can consider that 4 points or if 2 points would be enough for that technique. In any case, it was a really well executed throw of Markov, and technically perfect, well timed. Let's see what they are going to decide. I could imagine 2 points. Oh, they leave it like this. So the 4 points seems like well deserved. And you can see Chοβelice is now starting the engines, and once again this drop shoulder throw. Therefore, I would have given as well a point. Not sure if the scoreboard is still not showing it. Again, really well timed this attempt of Markov, and quick, explosive. Yeah, that's what makes it so successful. Really jumps underneath his opponent, really deep under the balance, and comes up explosively again. That's why it's so successful, but I guess if he's doing that too often now, Chοβelice knows what he's waiting for, what he has to take care of, and in any case, Chοβelice now has to come up with some attack himself. Yeah, just hoping for penalties for his opponent might not be the right strategy for him in this bronze medal contest. Good double leg takedown. Really good, yeah. So that was a nice attack of Markov, and he keeps on looking active now in a difficult position here. It has to be careful, but well solved. Used the sacrifice throw to escape this situation.
To the third match are called athletes.
And
man 72.
Yeah, difficult. So he fell over his back. Chοβelice kept standing, and they gave 4 points for that. Yeah, I can confirm that. I wouldn't give a full victory for this technique, but it was definitely a stupid mistake of Markov to drop there and to leave the control to Chοβelice. Well, but right now the fight is open again. Markov probably was a bit surprised by this lead he took against the favorite from Georgia, and yeah, the Georgian is now fighting with a good experience. There was a nice attack here of Markov going for this arm lock, but Chοβelice picked him up or lifted him up, so the referees had to interrupt the situation. And here once again the drop shoulder throw attempt, but Chοβelice now knows what it is about, and can perfectly anticipate that. Really good movement here of Markov. You have seen the reaction of Chowelidze falling down onto his knees, being afraid of his drop shoulder throw once again, because this 1 point is not a safe lead. Oh wow! Smashed him onto his back, and these 2 points are well deserved. Now working on the arm, tries to get the submission, but Chowelidze standing up. That was really well executed here. Once again, the movement of Markov prepared that fear of Chowelidze. So Chowelidze dropped a bit, and then Markov changed the direction and floored him onto his back. So that's why there were 2 more points for him, and now once again 2 more points for this counterattack. Really well done, and works on the arm. So 3 points leading here now against Chowelidze, and it's becoming more and more difficult for Chowelidze. I feel like it's not really his day here. He's not really coming into the fight, and as well he's a bit more focusing on the referee decisions than on his own fight. And Chowelidze gets 1 penalty for passivity, I suppose, although it looked like Markov dropped there. But as well, we have to think that, not only Markov has to attack, so another penalty for Markov, which means 1 more point for Chowelidze, and now the seconds are ticking away here. 1 second left on the clock, and Chowelidze already gave up. He won't try anymore in this last seconds, and that means that Radoslav Markov is the surprise of this weight category, taking a bronze medal home for Bulgaria with a really good fight here.
And he gets bronze medal.
Really good fight against the favorite from Georgia. Wasn't impressed by his name or by his results. Just fought as he had to, passionate till the very end, and took the win. That's what we like to see. And well, he deserved this bronze medal today at the European Championship. Really well done. Congratulations. And now we continue with the second bronze medal fight in the under 64 kilogram category. Here we see in the blue uniform for Ukraine Dmytro Yevtushenko, and in the red uniform for Romania Daniel Diaconescu. We have seen a really good fight of Yevtushenko early on in the semi-final against Alexander Chibatar. He almost overcome his Russian opponent there, then committed a few mistakes at the end of the fight, and found himself now here in the bronze medal fight. But if he can pull off at least something similar like he did in the beginning of the fight against Chibatar, he will for sure take the bronze medal here. Carefully at this point, lateral drop, but the inner thigh throw for 1 point has already been dangerous for Chibatar earlier on. So I'm sure we're going to see more of this inner thigh throw, or how it's called in Russian, Padkhvat Isnutri. Here we go again. Lifted him up really high. 1 point again for this technique. So 2 points on the scoreboard for Yevtushenko already. And Diaconescu now has to see what to do. Really good shoulder throw attempt there. Well defended by Yevtushenko. That's why it wasn't a score, but the timing of Diaconescu and the rotation was pretty good. Yeah, we have to say that. And just well anticipated of Yevtushenko. Oh wow, really good attack here of Diaconescu, getting 1 point for this counter attack. At the end, made a little inside ankle hook there and brought his opponent down onto his hip. And right now, not finding a good grip. The chance for Yevtushenko to go for a single leg takedown, but unsuccessfully. And a nice attempt here, sacrifice throw of Yevtushenko. Now working on the ground a bit, but takes too long. That's why the referee interrupts. Yevtushenko still leading here in this bronze medal contest. In another attempt, stays active, and Diaconescu now tried to go for the Balivoyka Nareka for the painful leg lock, but Yevtushenko defended that pretty well. Halftime in this contest, and so far Diaconescu is not finding a good strategy of how to overcome his Ukrainian opponent. They left the contest area, that's why again the referee interrupts both sportsmen and asks them to go back to the center of the mat. So I guess actually Yevtushenko could easily go for this inner thigh throw again, but maybe he learned from his mistake against Chibatar. He threw him for 4 points with that technique and then tried it on and on with the same technique and got countered for 4 points. I guess he tries to avoid that now because he knows I'm leading and I can defend this lead till the very end. So I shouldn't take any risks right now, as I did in the semi-final, because the bronze medal is now my only, or this match here is my only chance to get home with the medal, and he's doing that smart. He stays active, brings his opponent out of balance, so the referees can always count that as a real attack. And Diaconescu at the moment is not really getting dangerous, so why not playing a bit more tactical tactically here in this bronze medal match. A really good attempt here, sacrifice throw. Not sure if Diaconescu landed there on his stomach. Yeah, he did. That's why one more point for Yevtushenko. Really, really good, without any big risk taking this point. You can see that Yevtushenko really good, moving backwards. A nice attack here. Now can waste some seconds on the ground if he's doing that smart. If he gets his arm through the arm of Diaconescu. No, he didn't. Well, just 30 seconds left in this bronze medal contest, and it looks like Yevtushenko is taking this bronze medal back home easily, without any threat. And Diaconescu is not really finding a way into this contest. Another good attempt of Yevtushenko, and now it's on top of him, can work a bit here as the last 10 seconds of this fight are ticking away, gets the hold down in the very last seconds as well. But there the time is over, and Yevtushenko takes here the bronze medal for the Ukraine.
On leg 2, the winner is Yevtushenko Dmitro, Ukraine, and he gets the bronze medal in weight category 64 kilograms.
Exactly, so the first bronze medal in this under 64 kilogram category went now to Radoslav Markov from Bulgaria, and the second bronze medal went to Dmitro Yevtushenko from Ukraine. Later on we're going to see the final between Alexander Chibatar and Pavel Gladkich in the final block later on. Now, first of all, we're going to have a rapid charge fight in the under 98 kilogram category. Here we see in the red uniform for Hungary, Ferenc Siranko, and in the blue uniform for France, Anthony Sigar. I mentioned earlier on that Anthony Sigar is one example of the good development of Sambo in France. Last year at the World Championship in Novi Sad, he managed to win a medal in the under 100 kilogram category, and yeah, it was a bronze medal. And right now here as well, taking the lead with 2 points in the first seconds. And that's a really good attempt here, but as well a well defense of Ferenc Siranko. Now is going for the hold down. The contact is not there yet, so Siranko is still defending well. But now there's the arm lock. Doesn't quite get the arm of Siranko. And well, an unusual defense, but it worked, yeah. So it was efficient, it was effective, and that's all we need. Here now, good grip for both of them. A big hip throw, floored him onto his back. 4 points for Anthony Sigar for this technique. And just needs 2 more points to get the total victory here and to qualify for the bronze medal match, where he would have to face Arman Avanesyan from Armenia. And there it is, the last 4 missing points, or let's say last 2 missing points at least. And that means we're going to see Anthony Sigard in the bronze medal match later on against his opponent from Armenia. And the second bronze medal match.
98 kilograms. Lariashvili David, Georgia, Kazakhstan.
Yeah, we're going to see already now. Yeah, so that's the first bronze medal match in the under 98 kilogram category, and yeah, two Sambo experts, two Sambo legends. Yeah, they have fought each other various times already. I remember their last fight at last year's A tournament in Minsk in February. There Kasasionak floored Loriashvili badly, and here right now he started off with 1 point, with a 1 point lead, and didn't waste any seconds. Yeah, both, as mentioned, have seen each other various times in the last 10 years. Both of them always on the podium of the World and European Championship. So they know each other perfectly. And yeah, they fought each other in the final of the European Games in Minsk. So it's a repetition of this final once again. And in this final, David Loriashvili was the winner, so he was crowned the European Games winner back there. Then, as mentioned last year in February, Kasasionak overcame Loriashvili, so he got his revenge, especially in his home country Belarus. That was really good for him. The home crowd was celebrating that win of Kasasionak, and here we see who can get the next head-to-head win. Another point for Kasasionak here right now because of this single leg takedown. And another good attempt here of Kasasionak, and goes straight into the leg lock, and we have seen Loriashvili earlier on tapping out already against Davidchuk Yaroslav in a ground situation. And there I mentioned already that Kasasionak himself is an expert on the ground, and now he's really putting the pressure on the knee of Loriashvili, but it seems like Loriashvili is really holding on to it, and I really just thought he's close to tap out, but now he's getting a bit of a distance, and it was a really good defense of Loriashvili here, because Kasasionak was in the perfect position to execute this Richak Kalena, and now it seems like himself he has a little injury on his knee. So let's see if he's going to continue. I suppose he will. He's just pulling up a bit the knee protectors, and I suppose then he's going to continue. Okay, so the fight continues. Two men, big as mountains, strong as bears, battling each other here, and you can see Kasasionak has really problems with his knee right now. Obviously knees are a weak point for all fighters, and he's leading, so I guess there is a little problem right now. He has a little conflict in his head. On the one hand, knowing that he is leading, he can take the bronze medal. On the other hand, feeling this pain in his knee. And I'm not sure if he would ever think to give up or to withdraw because of this pain, but you can really see he has a problem with his knee. And I'm wondering if he will be able to continue till the very end. There's a second penalty for Kastusyonak now for passivity, which means 1 point for Loriashvili. He is going now for the 2-0 gripping, Loriashvili, and now for the hold down, but didn't get quite the contact, and there are 2 minutes on the clock. Still a chance for Loriashvili to come back into this contest. There's just a gap of 2 points on the scoreboard. That's, I won't say easy to close, but definitely not impossible. And you can see that the energy of Kastusyonak is going down hardly, and as well the problems with his knee are making it for him a bit more difficult to fight properly. You can see, you can hear the fans of, wow, well done here, single leg takedown, smashed him onto the side and got 2 points for that. And now this conflict in the head of Kastusyonak just got much bigger, because now he is the one who has to put some pressure on, and I guess probably his little injury there might not allow him to do a lot. And yeah, Loriashvili is now easily controlling the gripping, the upper body of Kastusyonak. And you can see Kastusyonak is getting slow. Here is another penalty. Another penalty for Kastusyonak, which means 1 point more for Loriashvili. I guess right now there is a little problem of the scoreboard. Should be just 4-3 exactly. Right now it's correct. And 1 minute 20 seconds left to go. Pressure on Kastusyonak, but you can see he's not really going forward anymore. Wondering if he can still push it, because Loriashvili is doing it great right now. Good moving, grabbing the leg, just being active, just annoying him a bit as well with the gripping on his neck. And doing a good tactical play here in this last minute, knowing that Kastusyonak is already tired and that he's not there for 100%. So that's for him really the chance right now to work easily on this bronze medal, which is only 44 seconds away from him. And there you can see Kastusyonak already, don't want to say that he gave up, but he's not really trying anymore. There we have another double leg takedown. You can hear the crowd wants to have a point for that, and on the scoreboard there is now 1 point without that the referee showed it, but I suppose probably the video referee decided that was a clear point. We have to give that. 20 seconds left, and well, Kasusyonak now trying one last time. Has a good grip, but Loriashvili defended well. And now the last 10 seconds are ticking away. They should stand up. Suppose one more time. And yeah. So as well, this little penalty for Loriashvili won't change anything anymore about this, about the outcome of this fight. So there it is, the penalty. And Kasusyonak tries it one last time, but the winner and the bronze medalist here is David Loriashvili for Georgia.
European Safa Championships in weight category 98 kilograms.
So Kasusyonak wasn't really in shape today, so he wasn't there for 100% today. Lost out so close with only one penalty against Davidchuk Yaroslav, and now obviously had a really big opponent with Loriashvili for the bronze medal. Well, as mentioned, they have fought each other various times, and as well, it was right now a really close fight, which Loriashvili could win by some smart tactical play, and as well maybe a bit luck that Kasusyonak was a bit injured. We have the last bronze medal match of this morning session now, and that's going to be in the red uniform for France, Anthony Sigard, and in the blue uniform for Armenia, Arman Avanesyan. Anthony Sigard, who won a bronze medal at the World Championship in Novi Sad last year, obviously came here to confirm his shape and to win another medal on this time on this continental championship level. His opponent from Armenia is still pretty young. 2 years ago, won already a bronze medal in Cyprus at the European Junior Championship. So it's probably one of his first big senior competitions he's competing at. And he started off really good into this day by beating his opponent from Greece with a total victory. Had him throwing a lateral drop and kept standing. That was really impressive. Then beat his opponent from Romania, and right now we have seen here a big suplex, and they gave 4 points for France, although I have to say there was not at all control for the French Sambist. In any case, the referees have seen that control, so the 4 points are probably well deserved. Avanesyan here seems a bit confused right now as well, probably because he's suddenly down for 4 points after such a situation. Maybe he can use the good feeling he got from this. So here carefully now. That happened earlier on again, where he fell for 4 points, so he shouldn't repeat the same mistake. Although he looks like he has really good control here of Sigard. And no, Sigar fell on top of him again. This time I can really confirm the control of the upper body. And 4 more points for Sigar and a total victory for the French Sambist here. That means after his bronze medal at the World Championship in Novi Sad, now another bronze medal, this time at the European Championship here in Cyprus. Really well controlled this fight and well, deserved this bronze medal here. Well, that's all from Mat 2 for this morning session. Later on we are going to have the finals where we will see the final of the under 64 kilogram category between Pavel Gladkir from Belarus and Alexander Chibatar from Russia. And as well the final in the under 98 kilogram category with Viktor Resko from Latvia and Yaroslav Davichuk from Ukraine. You can still move on to the other mat. There's still some fights going on. That's all for this morning part. And yeah, later on the finals. Enjoy.
On match 3, the winner is Hakagan Artur, Armenia, and he gets the bronze medal in weight category 79 kilograms. To the third match are called Nakhosrishvili Ivan, Georgia, Sandor Dominic, Croatia. The fight is for a bronze medal.
Opet počisti dog, nemaš ništa da dođe s ove doge. Osim toga što sad radiš, ništa se ništa učite noge. Ajmo! Ajde, Domine! Ajmo što baciti, ajmo što baciti. Ajmo na baciti, nemaš da izgubi. Ovo je tvoj dan. To je tvoj dan.
Onda ga mu utiša, gledite, Kenny ga mu utiša.
Ajmo! Opet počisti ga jako, jako ga počisti. Ga počisti, jako čajimo, jako ga počisti, nema čekaj. Ne daš. Hoću ti napad sada. Ajmo dobiš, nemaš šta izgubiti. Nemaš šta izgubiti. Ajmo. Ajmo još jedan put, ti radiš, ne daš njemu da radiš. Ti radiš, ajmo. Ajmo, uzmi što ne vani. Čisti malo. Vodiš mlade prije, samo izguni za vodi. Ne van, dom, ne vodi. Ajmo raditi. Ajmo, već Domi možeš to. Uzmi Don, pogledaj kako ti se nudi. Ajmo sa ti. Tako, idemo za vodiš
On match 3, the winner is Napostrishvili Levan, Georgia, and he gets the bronze medal in the category 79 kilograms.